My bad.
Welcome in,
right
everyone.
as I was taking a drink.
Good timing. Happy Monday, everyone. I hope you guys are having a great start to the week. I'd like to welcome in Kara Lynne. Please. Yes, hello. Wonderful individual. So just a primer for all of our viewers, since I know some people don't know exactly what kind of went down. So at the beginning of 2023, there was a situation that happened with Limited Run Games. So that is a small company that mainly produces like physical copies of games. And Kara Lynne used to be their community manager up until a couple weeks ago. So we have kind of invited her on today just to kind of discuss her experience with that, as well as just kind of get to know her, because I feel like a lot of people are focusing on this one thing, but nobody really wants to get to know who you actually are, right? So I have just an opener quiz just to kind of set the tone for things. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to warn you right now, some of these questions might be inappropriate or offensive.
Oh no. Good thing I'm not easily offended.
Okay. Pineapple juice with pizza.
Pineapple juice with pizza? Hell no.
Really?
Now, pineapple on barbecue pizza? Yes.
Interesting. I've actually never heard of barbecue. Is it where the sauce is barbecue sauce instead?
Mm-hmm. Barbecue with like chicken on it and pineapple. Ooh, it's good. It's good. It's
okay.
Good.
All right. All right. If you could disinvent one thing in the world, what would it be?
The internet.
Really?
Yes.
That's how you had a job, though.
I'll figure something else out.
That's fair. There's times where I kind of wish the same, in all honesty, but it is what it is, right?
I had a career that did not need internet before this, so it's perfectly fine.
Okay. What were you doing before this, if we may ask?
I did hair for 10 years.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a big career jump then, in all honesty. Okay, we're gonna revisit that later. Okay. What is your guilty pleasure movie?
Ooh. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
I get it. Okay. All right. Is it the Matthew McConaughey thing, or just the plot altogether, how it comes?
The plot altogether is just entertaining, but they're both like so horrible, but it's just one of those where like, there's some patience in there.
It just works somehow.
It does.
On the topic of entertainment, though, have you been watching HBO's The Last of Us?
Oh my God, yes.
And
oh my God. Okay, no spoilers, but last night's episode was so good. And like I played the games, so like I've been very, very happy with the show so far.
All right. Yeah, I know. I went on Twitter today to see, like, because I finally watched the episode today, and my Twitter feed was just all people like, "This is the end of HBO. The show is done." I'm like,
no, I saw the exact opposite. I saw the exact opposite. Like everybody was just like, "Oh my God, I felt all the emotions, and I just cried and I cried and I cried," and I'm just like,
it was a very well done episode. I don't see what all the buzz is about, in all honesty. I'm
so happy with it.
There you go. Good. I'm happy to hear that. What is the silliest thing you've ever done on a dare?
PG or PG-13?
Go with what you're comfortable with. How about that?
Oh God. I never really Is it bad? Is it too like I never really played Truth or Dare?
Really?
Yeah, I never really did growing up.
Well,
like,
what about just like you're in a conversation and it's just like, "Oh, I bet you $10 you won't do this," kind of thing.
Oh God. That requires like being social and shit.
Oh, I mean, at least you're honest.
I've never really I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Okay. If it comes to you, feel free to interject.
All right.
I'm very curious now.
I am too.
What is a unpopular opinion that you hold? This can be political or non-political. What's something that people are always just like, "What the heck are you thinking?" kind of deal?
That being a content creator is easy. whenever it is definitely not.
I've talked to a couple friends who are just like, "Oh, so if I wanna be a streamer, all I have to do is look pretty?" I'm like, "No. No, that's, like, literally 5 to 10% of it. There's so much that goes on in the background, it's almost
There's
like working a second job
It is.
sometimes."
There's marketing, there is social media, there is video production, there's actually
Mhm.
filming the content. There's so many things like having understanding of lighting and being decent at it like a game maybe or just being entertaining. Like there's so many things behind it.
100%, totally agree with you. So maybe that's not that unpopular of an opinion then. Alright, so you mentioned that you used to be a hairdresser. So
Mhm.
kinda what prompted you to move on from the beauty industry and kind of take your chances in gaming?
Well, we moved out to North Carolina like 4 years ago
Mhm,
and I was having some health issues with with from doing hair. Like I was having like pinched nerves that were like affecting like my ability to like raise my arm to certain heights, and so I was going through like physical therapy, and it was just one of those. It took a real toll on my body,
mhm.
and you wouldn't think it just by doing hair, but I am very
Yeah.
short, and like I'm 5 foot nothing, and, I mainly did men's hair, and so my
Mhm.
arms would always be, like, up here, and so it eventually just
Oh.
got to the point where it was just really painful,
Yeah.
and so I was like, "Alright, I need to change, figure out something else to do."
Mhm,
And, so I went into, being, like, an office assistant at a couple different places and worked in, like, property management, and then from there, I had done some volunteering at different conventions
mhm.
for like esports and such. And then a friend of mine told me about the job in here in the Raleigh area, and I was just like, "Oh, hey, like I'll give it a shot." I streamed off and on for like 7 years, so I have the content creation background, the community background. So like,
Mhm.
I'll see I'll shoot my shot.
There you go.
Yep.
Alright. So oh my god, I had a question and it just went out my head, but I'll come back to it. So, eventually you kind of found your way to limited run games. From some of the other stuff I've seen, essentially kind of a friend was going for that position and
Mhm.
introduced it to you, and it was the same deal. You just decide, "I might as well shoot my shot." So, I know you've probably also been through this literally a dozen times now. Uh, I think people know just kind of what the third person perspective is, but I'd like to just hear what your take on this situation was. Like, how did this all go down? What were some of the feelings that you went through as this was happening?
Um, Honestly, a lot of it was just kind of confusion for one. I think that was the first like anxiety because I don't do well. Like I'm not a confrontational person. I don't really see myself as like an aggressive person. So I'm basically try to stay out of like conflicts in general.
Mhm.
So I saw this and just kind of was like, "Oh crap, what do I do? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do." So I reached out. I got a message from a coworker who sent me the link to the tweet that had been circulating, and I reached out to a couple people, but it kind of didn't go anywhere. The
Mhm.
conversations didn't really go anywhere. So it was like it was a sense of like panic. I think was the main thing that really got to me, and,
Mhm.
I felt betrayed a little bit, like, I felt like they didn't have my back, which of the few years that I was there, like, I was never really, never really gave them a reason to not trust me because I
Mhm.
always tried to be as, like, professional as possible within every type of conversation or situation. So, it's just a it was a good mix of kinda sad feelings,
Mhm.
so
Yeah, because like you hadn't given them a reason to really be weary of you or upset with you. Have you ever been like even written up or given a warning before?
mm-mm,
So this was really out of the left field then in that respect.
mhm.
Wow. Okay. So um So because I read your tweet longer that you posted when you came back to social media. So you mentioned that it was the same day. Was there I mean feel free to say if you can't say anything here, but was there anyone that tried to at least stick by you and try to like keep you with the company? Like this is a ridiculous reason to be firing someone?
Not nobody's really said anything to me publicly.
Okay.
I do know that there was some people, like, behind the scenes that were like, "Hey, let's try and find another option,"
Hmm.
but eventually it just was nixed. So,
Okay. All right. Well, that's unfortunate. So now that because you were with this company for about 2 years, right?
yeah, just a
Was
little
it
over.
always okay? Was it always with a in a community manager role?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So I remember also you had mentioned that you were looking to move on from being the community manager for them. Like what prompted that? Why did you want to move on from that role and kind of go somewhere else in the company?
I was getting really burnt out on social media, just in general. Like, even in my personal life, I was getting burnt out.
Mhm.
So I was trying to, like, step away from it as much as I could,
Mhm.
and, w w when you work with such a, passionate community, it can get a little overwhelming with, a lot of, like, the standards that they expect and their opinions and how they assume a company should be run, and it's, it got, to the point where I was just getting really just overwhelmed and burnt out by seeing all the negativity.
Mhm.
And that was kind of the main thing. I had been in community management for the last 2 years, and I wanted to try and move on to something different within the marketing team.
Gotcha, gotcha. I also understand if you can't answer this, but was there a like a specific role that you were going to fill once you moved on from community manager?
I don't know if it had, like, an exact title, but I was gonna be moving more into, like, the management portion of it, so, like, the
Okay.
organization stuff. They were gonna train me on graphic design to help, like, with some of the banners and that
Mhm.
kinda stuff.
Okay, all right, very nice. And oh, you would have had tons of experience with that part anyways, being like a personal content creator for so many years, right?
Mhm.
So how would you say this is now? Because I imagine you're looking for work now or kind of you're fielding out things. So how has this been affecting you professionally as you try to kind of vent out new possible employers?
I've been hesitant to, like, reach out to, like, anybody, honestly. I've been very wary because it's just one of those, like, I don't know if anybody has me blacklisted,
Hmm.
or if they are interested. Like, right now, I'm just kinda taking my couple steps back and giving myself some room to just think and figure out what I wanna do next, if I wanna go
Hmm.
back into the gaming industry next, or if I wanna try and do content creation on my own again.
Hmm.
It's a lot of I've just kinda I've been a little hesitant to jump the gun yet.
Totally understandable in all honesty. So like through all this, kind of what has been because you took some time away from social media, right?
Mhm.
So what were you kind of how were you, I guess, for lack of a better word, healing from this experience? Like were you spending a lot of time with family, friends? Were you kind of traveling around a little bit? Like how have you been trying to recover from this?
So, it actually happened at a very, convenient time, to say the least, because my little sister was getting married that next weekend. So
Oh,
I
congratulations.
had already had a trip planned to go and see my family and
Hmm.
spend the weekend with them. So it came at, like, a good time because I typically only get to go home, like, once a year because I'm on the other
Hmm.
side of the country. So it was very much needed to go and see my mom and see some of my friends, and uh it was it was I just kind of stepped away from social media. Of course, I hadn't responded to anything at that time. I had done, like, a couple
Hmm.
updates, but I hadn't given my statement yet.
Hmm.
But it was kind of nice to just put my phone away and spend time with my family.
Just be in a positive environment, a supporting environment, right?
Mhm.
Your response to this entire situation, by the way, I really commend you there. I think it was a very good way to handle this overall. Just because I've noticed a lot of other, I mean, you're not necessarily like a huge media personality or anything, right? But I notice a lot of people do go and just like, oh, they'll be kind of snarky with things or they'll fight back and they just flame the fires, right? Where it's
Mhm.
not necessary. Um, so I just want like the way you reacted, that's generally like a learned habit for a lot of people. They don't just think like, hey, like it's okay not to take things super personally. People are allowed
Mhm.
to have their opinions and just, so you gotta go up and kiss people, but like like just show love in general, right? To the people around you. So I'm just generally curious, like what experiences or impacts or even just personal idols kind of influenced you to develop that kind of mentality, especially when we're now living in a far more polarized ideological world.
I was the middle kid growing up, so I was always keeping my siblings from killing each other. So I was, like, even, like, just within the last few years, like, like, even just through, like, text, I'm like, "Alright, like, you need to sit down, shut up. You need to say your piece. Alright, now time for you to shut up. Okay, now say your piece." Like, it's more of I've always been the mediator in my family, whether it's something or important or not.
Mhm,
Um, uh, that's kinda how I try to go about that kinda stuff. Like, I try not to be too emotional. I try to look at things rationally and
mhm.
from every side. So, I think that was kinda I've done that my whole life. Like, I kinda helped raise my little sister, and it kinda took that step into, like, "Okay, I need to not worry about myself right now. Let me see what's in front of me and go from there."
But I'm the middle child too, so I'm always the one kind of breaking up disagreements between my dad and my brother, actually.
Oh,
So
no.
I understand that because I try to like as much as I'll make jokes with friends and stuff. It's the same thing. There's no good that really comes out of being inflammatory, and at the
Mhm,
end of the day, it doesn't solve anything to
mhm.
also just kind of jump on things when you've got hurt or bruised emotions, right? So I really do admire you for that, and I totally understand where you're coming from there. So back to the Twitch though. So you were a Twitch streamer for how long?
Oh gosh, when did I start? I think it was like 2013, 2014 is whenever I started streaming.
So you got in the good time then before it really blew up. In all honesty.
Kind of. I mean, it was still like small streams. Like I don't think like I think what I don't even know what my numbers are at right now. I think it's like 3,000 or something. So it's nothing big. It was something that was more of a hobby for me. Whenever I was doing hair, one of my clients was like, "Hey, have you heard about this thing called Twitch? We sit here and talk about video games throughout the whole haircut. Why don't you give this a shot?" I was like, "All right, let's see how it goes." And so we'd jump on, and I think the first thing I ever played on stream was like Dying Light or something. So that we'd have
Oh,
like a,
okay.
a big group, we'd play Dying Light or we'd play Destiny together. And that's kind of how it started. And it's just a
Nice.
group of
Very
friends
nice.
that were hanging out.
Very nice. All right. So aside from like Dying Light, like what were some of the bigger games that you or what types of games would you tend to stream more?
Ooh, I love a good story focused game. So like I played like The Last of Us on stream. I played a lot. Did I stream a lot of Destiny? I can't remember. I took a step back from my own personal streams and stuff whenever I started at LRG because I was streaming 3 days a week for them. And so I really kind of took a step back. And I am a big fan of like cozy games. So of course, like Stardew Valley. I love have you ever heard of Graveyard Keeper? That
No,
was
I haven't heard of that.
it's
What
like
is
a
that?
morbid start it's like a morbid Stardew Valley. Like it's fantastic. It's it's a little indie game from
Mhm.
who was that one? I'm trying to remember the thing. But it's great. It's great. 100%. Like, I recently just went back through and played it on my Steam Deck and put, like, 100
Mhm.
hours into it, and,
Nice. Very nice.
So I like
Okay,
a
all
good
right.
cozy game.
So, what are some of the upcoming games that you're looking forward to?
Starfield is my number one of the year that I'm really looking forward to. Oh, yes.
Oh.
I guess No Man's Sky is one of my favorite games that I streamed a lot back in the
Mhm.
day. I've put hundreds of hours into No Man's Sky. I put hundreds of hours into ESO. So it's like a mix of those two is
Mhm.
gonna basically be Starfield. So it's one of those things that it's just as soon as I saw the gameplay for it, I was like, "Yep, this is what I want. This is
I
exactly what I
actually
want."
I've had kind of like meh interest in Starfield so far. I don't know if you did you watch the developer direct that Xbox and Bethesda had last week at all?
I tried to, but I was in the middle of something else, so I was like, had it up while I was in a call for something else.
Gotcha.
I was like half getting to pay attention.
As I know a lot of people were disappointed that there was no news for Starfield in there, right? So that's why I was wondering if you'd check that out at all. Since we're talking about Elder Scrolls and that, what did you think? What are your thoughts on that whole Activision Blizzard acquisition that's kind of in the works right now? Do you have any opinions on that?
Not really. I mean,
Mm,
if it makes things better, go for it. Because I mean, because Elder Scrolls is Bethesda. Now
mhm.
Activision Blizzard is more Overwatch, which I played a lot of Overwatch. Um, but I really don't have an opinion on how a business should be run. So
Mhm.
I don't know very much about the back end, that kind of stuff.
That's fair. That's fair. No, I know there's a lot of hurt feelings on social media. That's why, even though nothing has really happened yet. So, what are then some games that really disappointed you when like you were so hyped for them and you tried it out and you're just like, what the fuck is this? Like, is there anything that comes to mind like that?
Hmm. Forspoken was one of those. 'Cause I
Oh.
was super excited about Forspoken whenever I first saw the gameplay for it, like the first announcement for it, like a few years ago. Uh, and I was like, "Oh, this looks gorgeous! Like, I can't wait to play this." And then I got hands on the demo, and I'm like, "Eh." It just kind of was a letdown for me personally. But
Mhm.
I have been watching a lot of streams of people who have been enjoying the combat for it, but I haven't really seen very much positivity about the story.
Yeah, I haven't seen the same. Like I can't speak for it because I don't have a PlayStation system. I'm more of an Xbox gamer.
Mhm.
But it's just the kind of the commentary, I think, a little bit about it. I don't know if you've seen kind of any of what some of the bigger heads have been saying about it. But
Yeah.
I find what they're saying is a lot more interesting than the game because it's why can't a game just be good because it's good or bad because it's bad? Why does there have to be all these kind of social, political issues stuck in there to justify it,
Yeah, it's
right?
like you gotta check all the marks. Gotta check all the boxes nowadays.
Don't get me started there. Like, as you can see, I am a brown woman, so I have been in
No
many situations.
way!
I've been in many situations where I have been kind of the diversity hire, unfortunately.
Oh
So I
gosh.
know I like have firsthand experience with the ticking the boxes thing, and it's absolutely ridiculous, right? So since you do talk about games with other people, it seems like quite a
Mhm.
bit. Like when people ask you, like, "Hey, what's something that I gotta play?" Like, what are some of the recommendations that you kind of immediately go to?
The Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games, so I always jump to that one. Um, I just really enjoyed the combat in that one, and the story was just fantastic. I'm going through and reading all the books right now too. I'm on the
Mm,
second to last one right now, like almost at the end. Like I was in the car for 2 hours today, and that's what I had on my audiobook.
nice.
Um, but what's another game that I played a lot of that I would recommend? Like, it really just kinda depends on the genre that they wanna go on, like,
Yeah.
is it FPS? Like, do you want a cozy game? Do you want something that's, like, strictly more story-based? Like, it kinda depends on,
What they're looking for, right?
Mhm.
How are the books compared to the game, by the way? Do you see that there's a lot of commonalities or do they deviate a bit in the games?
They deviate quite a bit, from the books to the game and, from the books to the show. but we're not gonna go there right now.
Oh, okay, please. I'm
I will
interested
keep
now.
my opinion to myself regarding the show.
Did you
First
did you
season was okay, second
okay.
season sucked.
I am in full. I didn't say anything when it first came out because I watched that full season because I was like, "Oh, Henry Cavill's in here too." Like, fuck yeah, I'll watch. So
Yeah, he's
I
on my list. I'm gonna watch no matter what.
exactly, and I played Witcher 2. I'm playing through Witcher 3 right now with
Okay.
the update and everything, right? So I was thinking like, okay, but it's Netflix, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. And that first season really just felt like rushed. Like
It did.
they were setting up a lot for the future seasons, and then I tried to watch the second season. I was like, what
Production quality for the second season was so much worse than the first season.
really?
Yes, like, just look at the wigs alone were just like, I it's just something that really bothered me, like or Dandelion or Yaskier, however whatever you wanna call him in the show.
Mhm.
His hair from the first season, it just looked like a dead animal on his head in the second season. And then do you see a drastic change even just like in series wig from the first episode
Mhm.
from the second season, the continuation through the series through that
Mhm.
season, and it's just bugged me. And then there's like some lighting discrepancies, and then they changed a lot of the story, and it's just it was just a weird. I
It wa
didn't.
yeah,
Yeah,
it didn't work. So are you gonna be checking out season 3 at all or
I'll hate
probably not?
watch it.
Those are always fun regardless though, to be fair. Did you check out the Blood Origin series at all?
I did not. I did
Okay.
like the animated one where you follow, Vesemir. I
I've heard
real
very good things
I
about that
loved the
actually.
animated,
Okay.
like, the movie was it a movie or a show? I think it was a movie. The
Okay.
animated one was fantastic. I really enjoyed that one.
Alright. I mean, if you want something to hate watch, Blood Origins is a good hate watch. If you come upon that, there you go. So were you kinda disappointed then when they announced that Liam Hemsworth was gonna be taking over, or you're just kinda meh about it?
That's kinda meh because I kinda don't blame Henry Cavill for wanting to step away.
Yeah.
'Cause from the interviews and stuff that I had watched, I could kinda tell that he was, little frustrated with,
Mhm.
the lack of sticking to the source material, and, like, he was very, very passionate about the fact that he loved the source material, and he loved the games, and he loved the book, and that you could kinda tell that it was kinda getting to him a little bit.
Gotcha. No, I can totally see that, and even just the behind the scenes things that they were talking about, I was like, it's probably best that he just left it and has gone to do his own thing, and now he's got Warhammer coming up, and he's
Yeah.
producing that,
I'm
so
excited for that, and he's super passionate about Warhammer, so
right? So, it honestly can't go wrong, right?
exactly.
I recall seeing in another interview that you actually are a pretty big fan of Cyberpunk.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Like, have you watched Edge Runners as well? Like,
Oh
what are
my
some thoughts
god,
that you have on
yes.
that?
Ugh, so good. Loved Edge Runners. I just see just Yillies in here, by the way. I love you, girl, and I miss your face. Um, yeah. Sorry, I got distracted. I saw Yillies in here, and I
That's
love
okay,
her.
that's okay.
Fantastic cosplayer, by the way. Go check
Oh,
her out.
we'll check her out, yeah.
Um, but Edge Runners was amazing. Like, I've been a big fan of Studio Trigger,
Mhm.
since Kill la Kill. So Studio Trigger can you know,
I
you
was
get
the
it.
one who told her she should have asked you about Cyberpunk because I watched that, and let's just say I
So
had a
good.
48-hour span where I was actually just playing the game. I had a 48-hour span. I'm not kidding when I tell you that in those 48 hours, I played Cyberpunk 2077 for like 42 of those 48 hours. And as far as Kill la Kill, oh, I'm well aware about Kill la Kill and the scissors and all that. Yeah,
Mhm.
trust me. Uh, Kill la Kill is an awesome anime.
Kill la Kill. Did you watch Promare?
That is
There
one I
was
haven't watched, but
the
I've been meaning to.
Promare was pretty good. One of my so the Star Wars anime that came out on Disney
Clone
Plus.
Wars.
No, it's the actual anime. It's like
Hmm.
I can't remember what it's called. Um, but it's like the Star Wars like stories. It's like all these different animation studios did their own take on Star Wars and their own stories on Star Wars. And Studio Trigger did one. It was about these two twins. It was beautifully done. It was probably one of my favorite episodes that was in the series. Visions.
Star Wars
Yes,
Visions?
Visions. Yes. It was good.
Very nice. Very nice. So what kind of, so you're an anime fan then?
Yes. Don't call me out because I was up watching Demon Slayer until like 1 a.m. this morning.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, and we just caught up on Jujutsu Kaisen, and we just watched the movie Jujutsu Kaisen 0. So, yeah, anime fan.
There's an anime store not too far away from here and stuff that I keep going to. They have a lot of Jujutsu Kaisen merch, but I'm still mad that the cup that they're selling doesn't come with a finger. I feel that's kind of a ripoff.
You want one of Sukuna's fingers?
I mean, if I'm paying $25 for this cup, I need one of the fingers. I mean, I'm sorry. I need those powers.
Please, yes. Full Metal Alchemist was yes. Yes. Brotherhood is so much better than whatever the hell the original one was. The one that deviated from the manga. Brotherhood, perfection.
Very nice. So what are some like animes that are on like your like, oh god, these are like my top animes, like you have to watch this. I don't even care if you like this genre, you got to see it. Like
ooh, a good I love Konosuba. Just because it's dirty humor. It's great. Dirty humor. Oh gosh, of course, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is one I always recommend. I grew up being one of those that stayed up until 11 o'clock at night to watch Inuyasha. I have a whole shelf of Inuyasha figures over there. And hold on, let me see. What is this right here? I haven't put this one up yet, but of course, slime. Gotta love.
I see that, and I raise you.
Oh, you gonna show me a better Rimuru?
No, not Rimuru. That's the one figure I haven't been able to get. Every time I get it, every time I go to order it, they're out of stock. And of course, one of my figures just go out. But I have a. Oh wait, no, I do have a Rimuru. I lied to you. See the.
Oh, he's so cute. He's so cute.
Yeah, I have a problem. I have about $3,000 worth of anime figures in my room.
We're not going to talk about that. I collect all of the DC Bombshell statues. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 10 of them just above me right here. Please ignore messy office, but that's all games. That's all Pikachu. I collect Pikachu stuff. Right here, you can't see it, but that's a big the sideshow Yennefer statue.
Oh wow, nice.
And then that's my Witcher wall up there. So
are those swords?
Yes.
Yeah, those are from The Witcher, if I remember from your Eric July video.
Yes, they are.
Wow.
And then I got the sword from Demon Slayer down there that I got for Christmas.
Nice.
So.
You're a full-fledged nerd.
Yes. Here's Digimon right here. Yeah. I have this is one of my pride and joy is Geralt in the bathtub. So
I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot.
Oh, I see Eli's talking Studio Ghibli. Ooh, I'm dropping stuff. Got my guest house in my guest room in my house is all Studio Ghibli art. Wow. My wedding was Studio Ghibli themed. So
really?
Ooh.
Hold on.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah. Can I get more details on that?
So the coolest thing about like our wedding was my mother-in-law made us a 15-foot long Haku dragon that like we had up in the tree and like wrapped around the tree, and it was like so cool. And a lot of my family members came up like in like casual cosplays, and we sent out Ghibli themed, like there were Totoro invitations, and we had little soot spirits hidden everywhere. And yeah, I walked down the aisle to I think it's like Summer's Day from Spirited Away, because it's one of my favorites.
Oh. Oh my goodness. Please tell me you hired a videographer to get all of that.
I did not. That is the one thing I regret from my wedding, is not getting a professional photographer. That is the one and only thing.
So you guys just kind of let like friends and family take the photos and you save those? Jeez. That's the one thing I made sure to spring on for my own wedding, is like, I don't care. We're spending the money for a professional photographer. And it was worth every penny. She was like $2,000, but it was worth every penny, in all honesty.
I can't see what that is. Hold on. Is that ooh, is that Death Note?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is.
What did you think of that? What did you think of that Netflix Death Note, by the way?
I did not watch it. I avoided it. Kind of how I avoided the Full Metal Alchemist one as well.
What about the One Piece one?
Please excuse me while I finish my dinner.
You're good. You're good.
I'm so hungry. I was so busy today.
It's okay. Okay, we won't keep you for too much longer.
No. You're good. You're good. I'm vibing right now. We're good.
So the One Piece anime, they just released the poster for that for Netflix as well. Are you a One Piece fan at all?
I never watched One Piece.
Really? Okay.
I never watched One Piece. I've maybe seen a couple episodes here and there. But I'd never really like watched it. And then same with Naruto. Like my ex-boyfriend in like my first year of college was like die hard into Naruto and really wanted me to watch Naruto, and I got burnt out within like the first like 20 episodes. So I was just like, I haven't touched it since then. So
that's fair. That's fair. So what genres of anime then do you generally go for?
I like the comedy. I like good comedy. I mean, I've got Konosuba, I've got Inuyasha. What else do I have? I got a lot of my figures aren't out in my office right now. But I grew up being huge into like Pokemon and Digimon and all that. Like I've got, this was one of my my short arms, one of my most recent figures was the Wizardmon and Gatomon.
That's a very nice one. Were you in a Cardcaptor Sakura doll?
Oh my god, yes.
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 Oh my god, I made my own Cardcaptor book as a kid and everything. I was so into that.
Oh yes, I loved Cardcaptor Sakura. It's so good. Absolutely loved it.
Sorry, what were you saying there, Labency?
I noticed you listed a lot of animes for certain genres, but what about like slice of life, for example? Like maybe recently you have Your Name.
Oh my god, yes! I went and saw Your Name 4 times in theaters.
The silent voice. It's silent voice. And what about
Weathering
if you
with
go
You.
old school? What about Clannad?
And did I watch that one? No, I did not.
Oh god,
I did. Yes, I did go watch Belle. I actually just recently watched Belle. I just rewatched it the night I lost my job.
Oh god.
So I just
I'm not sure how to take this.
No. It's good. It's just one of those. It's a good movie. So I just rewatched that one. We just recently watched Your Name again. No, was it Your Name? No, we watched Weathering with You again. Because I don't think Your Name is on HBO anymore. But I know I own it, so I need to just watch it anyway.
It's on Netflix right now in Canada, at least. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know about Netflix USA, but it's been on there for a good minute. Same with Your Line April, because I conflate the two together because a lot of similar themes, but I really like that one. No, any horror anime at all? Because that's where my area is.
Oh gosh. Trying to think of some off the top of my head because it's been a little bit since I've watched a good like horror anime. Name some off. I can see if I've watched it. I haven't watched Berserk. I haven't watched God, what have I watched?
You got to get on Berserk.
Watched well with Erased?
No, I haven't watched Erased.
I highly recommend Erased. It's amazing.
I watched Claymore back in the day.
One. Yes.
Of course, I watched Death Note. But that's more like a game of chess. I really wouldn't consider that one more horror.
more thriller mystery kind of deal. Yeah. I never agreed with how people lump that together with horror. It has like horror elements, but not straight up horror.
I agree. Yes,
What
Elise was
about
telling me about Chainsaw Man. I haven't watched it yet. It is on my to watch on my Crunchyroll right now. Keep on meaning to watch that one.
Very nice. What about Hellsing at all?
I haven't watched Wait, did I watch Hellsing? I think
There's
I
two
watched
versions.
the movie. I think I watched a movie that was Hellsing back in the day.
There was like the 1 hour long OVA series, and then there was like the little half-hour show that they had about 10 years before that, which that's a personal favorite for me, to be honest. I love that anime so much.
I'm trying to think of what else I've watched. It's been I took like an anime break for like a year, and I'm finally like within the last couple of months I've started to dip back into it. And so I need a good list of ones to watch, because we just finished on Jujutsu Kaisen and Attack on Titan. Oof.
I still haven't watched the final season. Is it wrap up everything nicely?
It is not yet. It's still going.
Okay.
Oh, it's so good.
Okay. That's all I needed to get back into it.
Oh, yes, Summer Wars. Yes, my husband's in here. He said Summer Wars. Honey, what are some other ones that we watched? Spill the deets. I can't remember. I'm on the spot and I can't remember.
Lambency has just you just got whole lists of anime in your head, don't you, dude?
Oh, you have no idea.
give the girl some recommendations.
Hey, listen. I'm all for having her put her husband on the spot right now.
My hero, yes.
If we're gonna do a little music in the background, we'll start playing Under Pressure.
I don't do well under pressure.
Have you checked out Way of the House Husband on Netflix at all?
I have not, but that's the one where he like gets out of the like Yakuza or something.
And then he just does like Monday, like what you would expect a typical housewife to do. He does that instead. They just released the second season. It's hilarious. I absolutely love it. And it's just it's not like a full episode of one story. It's an episode compiled of little like short stories. So it's like just to have in the background, it's really fun. You get a really good laugh out of that one. I'm enjoying that so far.
All right.
Ninja Scroll. I haven't checked out Ninja Scroll at all.
Did I watch that one? I don't think I watched that one. Are you watching stuff without me? Jerk.
Is blood
the look of betrayal on your face right there.
High School of the Dead. That was good.
I did watch High School of the Dead. I watched a little bit of that one.
I got something for you since you said High School of the Dead. I have the entire manga of High School of the Dead.
I need more manga. I was eyeballing some recently.
Every single time, Mikey. Every single time, without fail, if someone brings up High School of the Dead, yes, I'm putting on.
You got called out.
You got to flex that collection.
You can call me all you want. I'm gonna flex that.
So, are there any animes that you're looking forward to? Because I know the 2023 is going to be like packed full with a lot of good releases. Are there any that you have your eye on?
I'm really excited for the final season, or at least part 1 of the final season of Attack on Titan. I need to catch up on Yashahime. I need to catch up on My Hero. Oh God. I need more Jujutsu Kaisen. Need more. That was so good. It's just there's so many. There's so many.
So many. Okay. You the backlog is just so long. You just can't remember. Yeah. So, okay, audience questions. What are some audience questions we have, Lambency?
We have had quite a few. Let me just scroll up here. Geesh, this is a very active chat, so just give me a sec. We got a lot of things to go through. And now my mouse is doing one of those things where it's like, hey, we see you're scrolling up. We're just going to make it go all the way up.
Yep.
Styx says, you feel there is an overall anti-conservative stance with the entire gaming industry? Or do you feel there are still some options for anyone?
I feel like it's very anti-conservative. I feel like a lot of like the more conservative voices are kind of keeping to themselves just because it's such a what is the word I'm looking for? Just very kind of vicious towards anything that doesn't lean completely to the left.
Kind of fit into the very finely tuned box that they've set out there. No,
and
that's
even for us that like myself that is more centrist, even then I still feel like if it's an all or nothing, like if you don't agree with everything, like you're obviously lumped into this other group, and it's very hostile, I believe.
Oh yeah. So did you try to then like avoid any sort, like if people were having say like political conversations in, you know, the break room or something, I imagine maybe you just tried to avoid those or just stay neutral, or
I avoided most of them. I had a couple of good conversations with a couple of coworkers that like we like even though we differ on a lot of things, we still had a very good mutual respect for each other, and like we understand and respect that it is very healthy to have discussions and try to see both sides, or just be like, all right, well, you see things from this perspective, like can you kind of explain to me, like help me see your perspective, like I want to hear your side of it rather than all the buzzwords that you're seeing on social media and such. And I typically stay out of it for the most part.
understandable. Yeah, it's very polarizing now. So even if it's like the JK Rowling thing, like she's very pro all of this thing, but it's just one tiny thing that she doesn't agree with, and everyone is turned on her, right? So I can totally understand wanting to just kind of like, okay, I'll engage with you, but I won't really go much further than that, right? Styx has another question here. So he asks, as someone who is in the comms in gaming industry over 20 years ago, what advice do you have to someone that is interested to get back into the gaming industry in 2023? Are there older people that still have a place, or is the field dominated by a younger crowd?
I think there's a good mix. Like at LRG, like we had a really good mix of like younger and older in the industry. Because I mean, the older, there's a lot of like nostalgia and a lot of experience there. But then you see the younger, so you have the new ideas that are a little bit more like maybe inventive or creative. So I think there's a good balance. I think it's a little bit harder for some of the older generations to get in, but I do think that they are still needed in
For
the
sure.
gaming industry.
He also asks, have you tried Arc? And if so, what is your opinion of them recently announcing working on upgrading it to a Unreal Engine 5 while they continue to work on Arc 2?
Did I try Arc? I don't think I tried Arc. I know if I did, it would have been like 10 years ago.
Okay, gotcha. I think I tried it when it first came out because a lot of my friends were playing it and it was fun, and then I just kind of, it was one of those things I couldn't get into when I was on my own, so yeah, it was a handful of times and that was kind of it. Do we have any more I don't see any more questions in here. Oh, there we go.
My first anime or manga, Inuyasha. That was so my first one that my parents got me into was the Studio Ghibli movies. So Spirited Away was kind of my introduction into anime, and then I kind of leaned more into like Inuyasha, and then my mom got me, what was it, Princess Mononoke, thinking that it was a Disney princess movie, and then dismemberment happened in it within the first 10 minutes, and there's just like, holy crap, what did I just get you? But then it ended up being really good. So
yeah, Princess Mononoke was, I think Sailor Moon was my first introduction because I would come home from kindergarten and watch that, and I'm still a diehard Sailor Moon fan. But then Princess Mononoke was the other one because my parents thought the same thing. They're like, "Oh, it's a cartoon. It says princess. It can't be that bad." And then there's like wolves tearing people apart, and they're just like, "We can't let her watch this."
This guy had his head chopped off and his arm chopped off, like within the first few minutes, and you're just like, "Holy crap! What am I watching?"
Oh my goodness. It's still
It's
great
okay.
anime though.
So, my mom once brought home Pan's Labyrinth thinking that it was a kid's movie. Flashlight scene.
Oh gosh.
I was like, nope.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's a great movie still though. If
Great
you watch it as an
movie,
adult. Yeah,
but not
for
a
children.
kid's movie.
Not at all, no. I see Jess Yelez has a question here. What's your favorite genre of video games?
Ooh. I love a good RPG. Like, I love a good RPG. Like, I've been playing Harvestella on the side. So like JRPG. What else have I been playing? Like, of course, I love Cyberpunk. And oh gosh, what else have I played? I've been in a cozy game kick lately.
Oh,
So
I
like
totally
Spiritfarer, Graveyard Keeper, cozy but morbid. Graveyard Keeper is. I mean, you literally make zombies. Like it's if you haven't played Graveyard Keeper, you need to play it. It's just one of those. It's like $10-15, totally worth it. They've got a ton of DLC. Like there's DLC based off of like Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones. Like it's all.
Is it
like,
on Steam?
Yeah, it's on Steam.
Okay. I don't know, cute graveyard. That works for me. I'm down with it.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
So
Jeremy
I gotta do this one.
Okay.
So your husband says, when are you gonna play video games with your husband again? To which I responded for you, that never. You told me earlier.
He doesn't want to play games with me because I'm very mean and I'm quite the potty mouth whenever I play games, at least competitive games. I am a very competitive person to the point to where he bought me a shirt that says, this may be a co-op game, but I'm still winning. Yes. I haven't played It Takes Two. He's been trying to get me to play that one for a long time now. So maybe that's what I need to
probably just wants
play.
me on the same team for once.
Hail the Lore asks, are you a Devil May Cry fan?
I have never played Devil May Cry.
Oh, you just broke Vex's heart. Oh,
not completely.
The amount of time she talks about Dante.
It's like I've played all of those, Limbo, Inside, and Dark. I have the collector's edition of Dark. Where is that one? Because we did that one at LRG. We did the collector's edition for Dark.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Hail the Lore also asks, what's your favorite shooter game?
Ooh, Overwatch.
My husband loves
lot of Overwatch, but I was also a healer main, so it was less shooting, more helping people survive.
The support. There you go.
My husband is just in here being a bully. Stop airing all our dirty laundry on on the internet, honey. You want to say something, say it to my face.
But that's the hallmark of a good marriage, when you can fuck with your partner on the internet.
Yes, it's true. I do talk a lot of shit on him, so I get it.
All right. So, just out of curiosity, like, what's next for you now? Like, after all this, like, what are the plans that you have either in the coming weeks or just for 2023? Like, what you got on the docket?
Oh gosh, I honestly have no idea what I'm gonna do next. Until I get a new job, I'll probably dabble in some content creation again. Whether it being streaming on Twitch or on YouTube or Rumble, I don't know where I'm gonna go yet. I have no idea. I'll figure it out.
When you know, basically, right?
Yeah. I know I want to stream the new Harry Potter game because that's just one that I've really been looking forward to. And I feel like I deserve to be able to play it after everything that's been going on lately. And yeah,
Laymancy's very excited for that one as well. So I'm not a Harry Potter fan, so I'm just like, it looks great, don't get me wrong, but it just doesn't tickle anything for me.
So. That's perfectly fine.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan. However, I do remember enjoying the Harry Potter books growing up, and just looking at that game looks absolutely stunning. With the amount of different options we've reported on this, with the amount of different dialogue options that they're going to have in the game that change the overall outcome. All right, I'm looking at it like, This is the adult video game version of Choose Your Own Story.
The first game my parents ever got me on the original PlayStation was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Oh gosh.
That was the first game that my parents ever got me. Mm-hmm. Monster Hunter fans? Oh yes. Monster Hunter. Oh, what was it? Monster Hunter Stories 2. I just recently played. Loved Monster Hunter Stories 2. I played Monster Hunter World, but I haven't really I didn't really get like too deep into it. But okay. I could sit here and talk games all day long. I just
we understand. Trust me. We just sit and talk about video games all week. So, we understand. All right. So if people want to kind of like find you online or connect with you, where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Kara Lynne 0326. On Twitch at just Kara Lynne. I did have a old YouTube channel that I used to do a lot of like unboxings for like all of my statues and that kind of stuff, but I really don't post on. I haven't posted on there in like 5 years.
Now might be the time. There you go.
I made a new YouTube channel, so we're gonna see if I can go from there. Oh gosh, Dembone has been a follower of my Twitch channel for years now.
Oh.
So it's great to have you in here, dude. I've missed so many of my friends from here. It's been great.
Mm-hmm. It's always great when you have that person who's been there, or those people that have been there for a long time. You know, whenever you see them, you don't forget, you know, regardless how big you get, you always remember your original crew. So even when they leave and you see them again, you're like, oh my God, how have you been?
Yes. And Dem is one of those. There's been a couple of people that have kind of made it back out to check in on me, and it's meant a lot. And it's been great.
Hard to find these days, you know, especially in the online sphere. So it does mean a lot. Yeah. All right. So I guess we're going to leave it there. Thank you again, Kara, for joining us. You gave the little guys some nice time, and we really appreciate it.
Anytime. You reach out to me anytime you want to talk games or anime or just anytime. I'm always down.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Everyone who tuned in on the Twitch, the Rumble, the YouTube, thank you guys for being here. Lambency and I always appreciate you guys coming out. Like, you are the reason why we are doing what we do. So thank you so much. But until next time, have a great rest of the week, everyone, and stay frosty.
Bye.